it's me. I'm here for Rebel, which is what I'm gonna say I'm doing with my hair here. I'm giving you a bit of a Rebel look, even though this has no shape or form. We're gonna say it's Rebel. So we start off, and if you don't know, Rebel is a show on BT. I don't know. It was a 2-hour premiere. I didn't know it was gonna be 2 hours. I'm expecting that it's gonna start at 9 on Tuesday nights. I'm not exactly sure. So I'm thinking it's gonna be at 9 Central Time. So that's 10 Eastern Standard and 7, either 7 or 9, because you know they do things over on the West Coast. They do things a little bit differently. So sometimes stuff starts at 7, sometimes they just wait and it starts at their 9. We start off at a bar. Rebel is at the bar. She's giving Misty Night teas from Luke Cage. And if you haven't seen Luke Cage on Netflix, watch it. If you don't have a Netflix account, find your cousin, find your step cousin, find your grandmother, whomever has an account, link up with them and see if you watch Luke Cage, because it was phenomenal, like for real. Yeah, she's giving off Misty Night teas. She comes in and, you know, she whips out her baton and there's a guy in there and she wants to talk to him or something. And she's like, let me talk to you outside before I embarrass you in front of all your little friends. And he's like, you know, blowing her off. His friend is like, is this your new girl? Yada, yada, yada. She whips out her baton. And next thing you know, she is whipping heads. Literally. She's busting this man upside the head with the baton. And she's like, oh, are you okay? And steady, like, beating him down. Let me see. We get back to, I guess, the precinct or the street. I wasn't really paying that much attention. And she has a partner. We're going to call him Chins, because I don't think I caught his name, but he had a gigantic, like a crater-sized dimple in his chin. So we're gonna call him Chins. Let me see. Apparently, Chins and Rebel had a little, you know, romantic, sexual moment back in the day, and we gonna get back to that in a little bit. But I heard something. Anyway, so we get around to Rebel in her street clothes, chilling with her racially ambiguous friend. Like, I looked at this girl. At first, I thought she was like light-skinned black. And the more I looked at her, I was like, okay, so she's some form of Asian. And then the more I looked at her, I was like, okay, so maybe she's Native American. And then I was like, but is she Hispanic? What are we doing here? What is this? Like, who? And she was talking like she was black. So I was like, maybe she's just like me, just kind of melanin deficient, you know, rocking eumelanin instead of pheomelanin. Is it eumelanin this one? I dropped out of beauty school, so I don't know. But yeah, I thought she was just like a light-skinned black girl. But then we get to dinner. Okay, we'll save it. We get to dinner with dad and baby brother are in there. Baby brother and dad are, like, you can tell they have like a bit of a tumultuous relationship. Like, they don't see eye to eye, but you can feel that there's love. Like, they love each other. They just don't vibe like that, you know. So they fighting and slap boxing and all that, and it's cute. Brother leaves before dinner, and Rebel was like, all right, I'll see you later. I'll come by and see, you know, where you are later, and yada yada yada. And to me, I'm like, if your sister came by, and it doesn't seem like she comes by all the time, wouldn't you want to stay for dinner? Like, I know your daddy gets on your nerves, but this is your sister. And I mean, it was apparent from the very beginning that they don't have a mom around. Like, you could see that from, you know, coming over to dinner, that they don't have a mom around. It wasn't clear if they were divorced, if the mom lived in another city, state. Like, it wasn't clear what was going on with the mom. But you could tell she went around. So it's like, if my sister comes to town or comes around, I would want to have dinner with her. But he rushes off, and the dad is upset. Like, you gonna just let the boy walk out, you know, and go do whatever while we're having dinner? And she was like, you know, cool about it. So best friend, racially ambiguous friend, is, you know, sitting over there, and dad is being kind of nasty. He's like, you know, I knew the storage on my phone, once again, after I deleted every video on my phone, the storage is like, I'm full. I don't know. I just can't. But let me get back into it. The dad is talking about how he had this Oriental girl that did this, that, and the other, or something like that he was saying. And racially ambiguous friend was like, okay, Oriental is offensive, which is what I've been trying to get my mom and grandma to understand, is that we don't say Oriental anymore. We just don't. Like, and I know my mom is trying. She forgets from time to time, because that's what everyone said for such a long time. And my Mama Val, I don't know if I'm not gonna say her age. I don't know if she wants me to say her age, but she is old enough to be set in certain vernacular. And I'm actually holding this now, so we're gonna see how long this works, because I didn't bring my stand out here because I expected to record on my phone. But yeah, so he's talking about this Asian girl used to do this, that, and the other, and she had hair from the top of her head to her soft backside, and I'm like, oh, this is nasty. But then racially ambiguous friend clarifies that she's Chinese. I'm gonna keep calling her racially ambiguous because I don't believe she's just Chinese. And if that's offensive to anyone, please let me know, and I will stop calling her that. But she looked racially ambiguous to me. I'm gonna try to find a picture of her and have it right there, and you guys tell me. Okay, so Daddy's a lush, and this is why he was talking so much about, he was saying, I knew this girl, she was Chinese, but she was trying to say she was Taiwanese, and I don't know why she would say that. And racially ambiguous friend is like, because Taiwan and China are not the same. Okay, but yeah, so they were trying to, they were ignoring basically father and his alcoholicness, but yeah, racially ambiguous friend was kind of slightly offended, but not like super offended. We find out that Rebel's name is actually Rebecca, but we're gonna keep calling her Rebel because I like it. Let me see. She goes off on her dad for feeling sorry for himself. And it was like, what is he feeling? Like, what happened? They didn't delve into it. So I'm expecting that throughout the season, they're going to delve into it. And we're going to figure out why father is feeling so sorry for himself and why he's drowning himself in alcohol like this. We get over to brother. He's on the street corners and he's, let me close this because this light is getting on my nerves. He's rapping and he has an okay flow. I didn't care for him as a rapper, but we're going to get into his other thing in a minute. And so he's on the street corner, he's rapping, Rebel pops up and everybody's like, oh, hey, shawty, let me turn around, let me see. And she's like, boy, I'll break you in half. Get out of here. Like, she's giving very much like, I can't be bothered. I know I'm fine. That's just what it is. And she is fine. She's cute. But yeah. So she and little brother swing over to her house, and they're having drinks. And I'm like, is little brother old enough to be drinking? But I guess so. But then we start smoking weed. He starts smoking weed at the officer's house. And I'm like, we smoking at the cop's house? I live with a police officer. I personally would not smoke weed up in here. That's just not, that I wouldn't. That's just me though. Like, that's just not something. But again, that may be just me. Let me see. He's talking about dropping out of school. She gets real close and personal with him and is like, nigga, if you think that you about to drop out of school, have a second thought. Think again, because you're not. Like, after all that I did to get you into that music school, if you think you're dropping out, think again. I'm like, what all did she do? Like, what was done? Who did she threaten? Or who did she sleep with? Like, what was done? Because you can tell that the lines are blurred for Rebel. Like, in every aspect of her life, the lines are just blurred. Like, it's just, everything is muddy. All the water is muddy. So she's not gonna let him drop out of school. Then we fast forward a little bit into the night, and I guess baby brother has gone home or whatever, and she's laying in bed with no bonnet on, and her faux hawk is just on the cotton pillowcase, and I'm like, sis, what did we do? Where's your scarf, baby? Because I can't be bothered for you to wake up in the morning with frizz and whatnot. But she wakes up and she has a whole completely different hairstyle. She's got it slicked back, braided back, and the two little braids, I guess the girls call it goddess braids now, I think is what it is. I'll try to put a picture up there of the style. And I'm like, who did her hair? Maybe it's a couple days later. I'm like, she went to sleep with no bonnet on, woke up with a whole different hairstyle, went to work. Shook. And then I was like, she got on jeans at work, and my mom was like, well, she's a detective. Olivia Benson ain't never worn jeans to work. She got on slacks every time. Detective Rollins be wearing slacks. Tutuola has on slacks. This is all I know about detective work. Rizzoli and Isles, none of those girls wore slacks to work. And you could tell that Rizzoli's was a jeans kind of lesbian. You could just see it. You could see it all over. Because she was always playing baseball. But we're not talking about Rizzoli and Isles because it hurts me to talk about it because we had a death. But, let me see. She went to work with another hairstyle. I wrote right there, logistics? Are we gonna start with the logistics again on this show too? All right. Giancarlo Esposito is the Lieutenant Gold. And he's looking real Giancarlo Esposito-ish. He's fine. Actually, I think Giancarlo is actually finer than Rick Fox. You be the judge. Let me know in the comments who you think is finer. I personally think it's Giancarlo. As far as like the older mixed guy with the curly gray hair, like I think it's Giancarlo. I do. Let me see. We find out that the man she whooped down to the bar where the rich cars be, Funky Daniva, we find out that that man is in the hospital. And she done beat this man to a pulp to where he is fighting. He's just fighting. I don't know if he's fighting for his life or not. Let me see. Then we get a call that there are shots fired. We ride in the car. And I'm like, is the dash cam on? Because while we're riding in the car, Rebel is driving and Chins is in the passenger seat. And we find out that they had a sexual, situation. And he's like giving her all this, I want you, I need you conversation. And it's just like, he's asking, when you get lonely, who do you turn to? And she's giving very much not you. Like, he must wasn't good or something. I don't know. But like, she did not want to go back down that road. And it was, I didn't like it. I didn't like Chins for her. I wasn't feeling it. But they hear shots fired over the radio. And he doesn't want to respond, but she wants to respond. They respond, they get down to the alley, and there's a boy in the alley. He's got his hands up or whatever. He's turned around. And, they're holding the guns out. Drop it now. Drop the gun. He turns around in slow motion and he's like, you gonna shoot me? Your own brother? And I'm like, I'm looking, I'm like, is that him? Is that I mean, when I saw him with his hands up, I was like, when I heard shots fired, I was like, oh, I hope that's not the brother. Cause I was like, the brother's a good kid. Hopefully that wasn't him shot. Then we get to the alley and I see the silhouette and I turn to my mom and say, oh, I hope this ain't the brother. Like with his hands up. He turns around and it's the brother. He's like, you gonna shoot your own brother? And I'm like, what kind of conversation? Like, if my sibling had a gun to me, if she was holding a gun to me and hollering, put the gun down, I would turn around and be like, girl, it's me, please, girl. Look, hey, it's your sister. Look, DNA, we got the same. Don't shoot me. I'm holding the gun out here. I'm gonna put it down slowly. Do not you, it's me. Me from the womb. We got the same mom and dad. It's me. Don't shoot me. Like, that's how I would have been. But he turned around real, so you gonna shoot your own brother? And I'm like, what? So immediately I started saying, so this got to be a dream. Because we saw her in the bed, without that scarf on. And I'm like, okay, so this is just a scarfless dream. This is one of those dreams that you have when you don't have your nightcap on to protect you from the forces in the world. Because you got to pray over your bonnet before you put it on. So you won't have bad dreams. I don't know if the rest of you girls do that, but I pray over my bonnet before I put it on. And I don't be having bad dreams. Maybe you should try it if you do. But I'm like, okay, so she didn't have her blessed bonnet on, and so she's having bad dreams. Because it seemed very, like, the cinematography was all side. She was just like, so you gonna shoot me, your brother? And I'm like, what? And, so he drops the gun, kind of tosses it away from him. And Chins is like, he's holding the gun, and Rebel is like, put the gun down. This is Malik. It's my brother. Put the gun down. And he's over there blinking and looking crazy. And I'm like, so this got to be a dream. He shoots at Malik, and Rebel instantly shoots him in the leg, and he is on the floor howling, and she's like, Malik, are you all right? And he wasn't hit. And so he's on the ground, and another officer comes up, and I guess sees him on the ground. I'm sorry I'm shaking this. I'm talking with my hands, and I'm not accustomed to having to hold the camera, but we're having difficulties. So he's on the ground, and the cop comes in, and he sees him on the ground, and he calls for backup or whatever. And the brother, when the backup gets here, they're all like, freeze, everybody freeze, put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Say, oh yeah, they're doing all the police hollering and all of that. And he turns to his sister and it's very dreamlike again. And I'm like, so there's gotta be a dream. And he's like, I love you, sis. Angles and movement. And I'm like, okay, so when is she gonna wake up? Wake up, girl. But and then he just takes off running. He just starts running out of nowhere. And they fill him up like Cleo at the end of Set It Off. And I'm like, day after day. Like, it was so dramatic and so extra and so just not normal. Like, he set himself up to be killed. Because you had your hands up. You tossed the gun away. But then you turn to your sister and say, I love you, and you start running. Traditionally, when you start running from the cops, because apparently cops don't chase after perps anymore. They just shoot them automatically. So this I love you and then starting to take off running, it's like you just wanted to die. Like, what is this? And I sat there the whole time waiting for her to wake up. And her brother is shot down. Multiple gunshot wounds. GSWs up the wazoo. Like, shot up. Shot up. Got me feeling it. Shot up. Like Usher. Shot up. I know the song is caught up, but he was shot up. Like, down boots. I actually put, what did I say here? I put shots fired. I hope the shooting ain't her brother. I knew it. This gotta be a dream. Chins is crazy. Shot at baby brother. For why? Because why did he shoot? Why did he shoot? Baby brother is down. We don't run after perps anymore. We just shoot. Like, these are my notes. And then I put, this is her origin story. I don't know if you can see, I'm wearing a Black Panthers shirt. I don't know if it's gonna come to you backwards or forwards or what, but it's a Black Panther shirt. And it's not the Black Panthers, but it's the comic. I was finna say cartoon, but I knew that wasn't the word. It's a comic book character. So I feel very dressed appropriately for this because I've got the poofy hair. I've got the comic book shirt on. This was her origin, like, story. She was already rebellious just by nature, but this is the moment where it's like, okay, she is unhinged completely. So let me see. We scooch over to the funeral. Everybody is in there crying, and brother is up there with his hands crossed over him, and, you know, looking dead, but he looked good, you know, for somebody who was dead. He ain't looked dead at all. And we know that's because the actor actually isn't dead. But he looked like, I was like, okay, Willie Watkins or whatever, the funeral home man down in Atlanta, he hooked that man up, had him looking right. But the daddy, again, is probably drunk. He and Rebel are sitting on the front row. And this is yet another hairstyle. She's got to pull it back into a sleek bun. And she's got these gigantic shades on. She was looking fly. I mean, fly for a funeral, for the occasion. But the daddy turns to her and is like, this is all your fault. I told you to put him in a cell when he was younger and he started getting in trouble. That would have scared him into listening to somebody. And she's like, we're not gonna blame me. I didn't do this. This has nothing to do with me. And then he gets up and he's like, Bernadette, how dare you do the thing that you're doing, Bernadette? And she took her glasses off and like, Daddy, I'm Rebecca. Like, I'm not Bernadette. Use your eyes and your mind. Bernadette, she's long gone. She's not with us. And yeah, so he already had issues thinking that Rebel was his wife, like Bernadette. He's already kind of going through the whole, you know, widow type situation. But yeah, he got hollering down at the funeral. And they step outside. We see Method Man.